Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First let's tackle the easy one. Off we go then, black to play and mate in one. So let's look at the white king. 4 squares to check. And black's 2 attacking pieces cover most of them. But you should also notice that they both attack f2. We could try our old friend, the defended queen next to the enemy king. We just need to be sure that f2 is a safe square for the black queen. The medium puzzle is mate in 2 for white. g8 is safe for the black king at the moment, but white has 3 pieces in menacing positions, and moving this rook would be discovered check. So let's find the best place to move it. There are 2 ways to give double check, but the rook wouldn't be safe on e8, so let's look at taking the f7 pawn, where the white queen would defend it. Remember, the only way out of double check is to move the king. Black's king can move to either side, but if the king goes left, white's queen gives checkmate. But what if the black king goes right? How does white finish the game this time? White's queen and bishop are bossing the diagonals, so another double check rook move will do the trick. Final puzzle, white to play and mate in 3, and at the moment 2 of these squares are safe. The white queen attacks h7, but nothing is quite working for white here. The queen would like to move to h7, but no other white piece can defend it there. White's f4 knight really needs to move somewhere more helpful, and white's b7 rook would like to move to g7, but there is a black pawn in the way. Now what other job is this f7 pawn doing? If white moved the queen to g6, then it could give checkmate on g7, defended by the f6 pawn. But black's f7 pawn is guarding g6. So black's f7 pawn is blocking the 7th rank and guarding g6. Perhaps that's one job too many, so let's clear the arrows and highlights, and investigate what happens if we move the queen to g6. So we move our queen to g6, threatening checkmate on g7, and black has to take the queen with the f7 pawn, and then white's rook can take the g7 pawn. Remember, all of this thinking has to take place in your head. You can't actually draw these arrows on the board. Then the king would have to go left or right, because the white rook is defended by the f6 pawn. And then can we use the knight to finish the game? Will this knight move be checkmate? Well, are you confident enough to give up your queen?